I'm happy to. Okay.
I do 1 o'clock. Everybody knows.
Okay. All right, very quick recap. Achashverosh, right? Achashverosh represents a force, not a person, right? His job is to take us from a lifestyle of 50% spiritual and 50% physical and move us a little bit and a little bit at a time more to the physical side until we get to a point where God is still in our lives, but we do things, we act on things, it's tangential, it's extra, it's minimized further and further away from being our primary focus. That's Ahasuerus's job. That was the point of the party, so to speak. That's the point of his cultural efforts. So he is a brilliant person who is making a very, very concerted, clever, calculated effort that dates back to the time of the Garden of Eden, we hold, to move the Jewish people slightly away from God, right? Quick recap on him. His program appears to be succeeding. His program appears to be succeeding. In comes Vashti. Vashti is an extremist. Vashti is a Sav on steroids. Vashti doesn't simply say, I'm not interested in that secondary world, in that so-called non-physical eternal world, but I completely reject it. So when the Melech, which is God, when the Melech calls Vashti to an accounting, Vashti says, I'll see ya. I'm not interested. I don't care what you have to say. You're giving me the opportunity to make teshuvah, let's say. I don't know what you're talking about. No interest of mine. So when she's called before the Melech, in the context of Achashverosh, as Vivian really framed it very nicely last time, we're going to keep going from the pshat, from the core story, to this approach. And we're going to just keep toggling back and forth between the two. I think it's a great way to learn it. When she's called before the king, i.e. God, she rejects God and she says, not interested. And she goes to her death with zero remorse for her actions, her father's actions, her grandfather's actions. Her grandfather, we know, was Nebuchadnezzar, the destroyer of the temple, killer of hundreds or possibly hundreds of thousands of people, the expulsion of the Jewish people from the land. She has no remorse for that. She mimics his behavior on a local level by stripping Jewish women, the Midrash says, stripping Jewish women of their honor, of their privacy, and attacking them directly on Shabbat. Good. Now what happens? Now we jump out of the script for a minute, right? We have the overview of a major Kabbalist, Abraham Isaac HaKohen Kook, first chief rabbi of Israel, first Ashkenaz chief rabbi of Israel in the early 20th century. And what he says is as follows. He says that there will be, when there are dark clouds in the diaspora, when there are dark clouds, what will happen is at the outset, there'll be what we call hastarat panim, which is God seeming not abandonment, but distance from us. And during that difficult period to see him more overtly, because there'll be fewer overt messages, not really obvious miracles or things that can demonstrate the hand of God. While that's happening, evil and negative things, La'adenu, will brew, like is happening now in our story with Ahashverosh. And at the same time, God will impute into the system the tools for salvation. So if we say when makdim terufa l'makah, We always infuse, God will always put the answer, the solution into the system before the problem manifests. This is very important because it's true on a collective level and it's true on an individual level, but we don't look for it. Because generally speaking, we're consumed by the issue, consumed by the problem, and we don't remember the system. And the system is when the problem finally manifests, it may have been brewing for a long time, right? Achashverosh was cooking for a long time. When the problem finally manifests and becomes more overt, in parallel, the solution will become very potent. So Achashverosh is ready to strike. The solution is ready to happen. So how does the Megillah portray that? The Megillah says that they sent out this notice, this proclamation all across the land, that kol ish ve'ish yeh besorer b'beito, that the head of the household will control the household, right? Right, maybe someday. But at least in theory, the head of the household will control the household, right? Of course he will, right? Of course he will. Meaning, if we're learning on that level, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome. If we're learning it on our level, right? What happens here? Hakadosh Baruch Hu, because this is all at the behest of the king. And Achashverosh is mentioned on the side, but this is all at the behest of the king. So what do we hold is happening here? God is infusing society with the solution. He's infusing society with the master of the house, i.e., the soul or the neshama beginning to rise again. So Achashverosh is working hard, right? He wants to take down our culture. And certainly a Torah-based culture, morality-based culture, he wants to take it down. Vashti comes on the scene and she says, listen, husband, you're working too slow. I want to take it down directly, frontally. I want to destroy it. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the world to come. I don't believe in anything. I'm going to go right at the Jews and everybody else with my style, based on Grandpa's style, and I'm destroying it all. Because, by the way, didn't Grandpa prove that the whole Jewish thing is a sham anyway? Don't we see that the words to the prophet, which he made clear to all of Israel, didn't happen? There is no salvation in year 70. They're not going back. Vashti comes on the scene and says, it's a failure, and I'm going to go right at it, and I'm going to attack it. God says, no. And Achashverosh says, no. Because when you attack someone directly, they fight back. But if you attack someone subtly, then you can win. Because if over time, you confuse a person more and more with a similar set of values that's slightly different, then you win. So, Achashverosh reclaims his throne, gets rid of the extremist. He's going to keep working it his way. Pause the story. Different level. God always puts the solution in place. So what does he do? There's a proclamation, so to speak, that goes out to the 127 city-states. What is the proclamation? Proclamation is that the man should be at the head of the household, i.e., any extreme views at destroying the home, to put it in contemporary terms, are suspended. And this perspective that started to take place where, for example, one of the midrashim that's brought down, the rabbis say that the youth was revered and age was disgusted, was considered there's nothing left, there's nothing there, there's nothing to respect. That was reclaimed, i.e., salvation is in place. So, Achashverosh still having a great time doing his thing on the road to wiping out the remnants of the Jewish people and their connection to God. His extreme partner taken off the scene, she can't mess it up. Oh, and a parallel track. The parallel track is that God is setting the stage for the salvation. Good? Okay, so far? Yeah? No? Okay, so let's go. Excellent. So excellent. So that's exactly the point. We don't understand what the salvation is because we don't fully understand the problem. We don't fully understand Achashverosh's absolute mission. So we can't fully understand the salvation. You hit it exactly on the nose. So wait a few minutes. Now what happens? So these things are all in place. And let's see. Let's turn to page let's turn to page. I'm gonna roll the heat a minute. Turn to chapter 2, verse 5. Chapter 2, verse 5. Okay. Who's coming on the scene now?
Wait.
What page?
Guys coming on the scene. Beautiful.
Wait, what page, Ricky?
Verse 5. What page?
1253. At the bottom, highlighted.
1253?
Yeah, 1253. If whoever has the Sunset, what is it? The Sunsino.
I have,
Oh, started.
Stone edition?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, chapter 2 in the Megillah, verse 5. Okay, let's go. Ish. When we see the word Ish, what does it mean, Serene? Excellent. When we see the word Ish, it means someone of importance, right? Start with that. Skip Yudi for a minute. When we see the word Haya or Hu, what does it mean? It means he was what? The word Haya. Hu Achashverosh, Haya Hu, we parallel them the same way. Yeah, so he was prepared for this. We call it in Hebrew is mitukan nadavar. So we have a person who built his life a certain way, but was also prepped. So Mordechai is prepped for this job, right? Again, we'll come back to you, D. Bishushan Habira. What did we say about the hey in that word? The capital. What did we say? We said a couple of weeks ago that the only other place that the word the or the hey hayidiyah is used in terms of capital in the entire 24 books of the canon is about Jerusalem. So we have a little bit of a funny thing going on here, where in some people's minds, Shushan may be coming like Jerusalem. Now, maybe that's Achashverosh's plan. It clearly is. And maybe it's where other people are buying in. Maybe. We'll see. We don't know. But he was in Shushan Habira. Ish Haya, a great person, was primed and prepped. Oh, one thing. God just put all this good stuff bubbling beneath the surface, right? He put the Yeshua in. He put the salvation beneath the surface, yeah. Exactly. Fantastic. Achashverosh, behold, moved the capital there. Mordechai was already there, and that's set up in order to push this confrontation. Ushemo. What do we say when we have the word Shemo? The word Shemo, Shem Hashem, the name of. Whenever we see the word Shemo, his name, what does it mean? What does it mean? Huh? What? More than that, even more, the essence, one more step. The essence, one more step. What does it mean? It's the essence as it manifests, right? So when we see like Shem Hashem, when we say Shem Hashem, the name of God is Amonai, or the name of God is Elohim, doesn't have different names. God shows himself in different ways. So based on the different ways that he shows himself, Those are the different labels that we give him, right? So if we says Shemo Mordechai, it means this person who was queued up, who was built and prepared for this, he's tooled. He's going to express himself as Mordechai. Was that his name? Maybe. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was an acronym to describe his actions. What is Mordechai? Viv, what do you have on that? Could be Mered, right? What else? Mordechai, Morderor. What is Morderor? What is Deror? Liberty, beautiful. He's the Mr. Liberty. He's the person who's going to bring the freedom. He's the person who's going to bring the salvation. We say that or more chofesh. Okay, we'll talk about his name more now. Then it says Ben Yair, Ben Shim'i, Ben Kish, Ish Yemini. The son of Yair, the son of Shim'i, the son of Kish, Ish again, Yemini. What's confused about all this? What do you want to do with this? And now that you saw the end, go back to the beginning, the word Yehudi. We know the following, right? Let's be clear on this. Laura, are you with me? Great. We know the following. About 300 years before the destruction of the first temple, we're in that post-first temple destruction now, the 10 tribes were expelled from the land of Israel, right? The 10 tribes were expelled from the land of Israel. We, till this day, we call them the 10 lost tribes, right? We believe we're starting to find them today. It's spectacular what's happening in that we believe that those who came from, we can't know yet, the Falashim, the Ethiopians, might be the tribe of Dan that were expelled 3,300 years ago, right? And we hadn't seen them since, right? We believe they might be the tribe of Dan that's coming back home now with the beginnings of the Geulah, the beginnings of the redemption. And we believe, we can't know for sure, but we call those Indian Jews, those Jews from these other areas of India, who are proclaiming their Jewishness now, and some of them are moving to the land of Israel. We think they might be some of the tribe of Binyamin. We don't know. But when we're saying here, Ish Yehudi, right? He was from Judea, right? And Ish Yemini, right? He was a powerful man from Judea, and we hold that Yemini is from the tribe of Binyamin, right? There weren't any other tribes left. Any other tribes in the country. All the other tribes were expelled. The only tribes that remained were Judah and Benjamin and the Kohanim and the Be'im. Everybody else was out. So when you tell me that he's Yehudi from the tribe of Judah, and when you tell me he's from the tribe of Benjamin, you didn't tell me, because he couldn't have been from any other tribe at that point. So when we say Ish Yehudi, and we say Ish Yemini, you've got to take a step back. What do you want to do? Yeah, that's why we're here. I've been talking for 20 minutes by myself. Nice. Okay. Good.
But I think also I hold strongly today and back then, this whole kenos, this whole achdut, this whole coming together of the people is what's going to bring the Yeshua.
Beautiful. Okay.
And
Beautiful.
you take two brothers that would have typically been on opposite ends of the spectrum. Actually,
Great.
one name before you bring the four.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. Yes, yeah, very nice. So we say his father was from Yehuda, his mother was from Benjamin. I wanna, and that works nicely with what Vivian said, right? And I want to leave that in our shot box, in our, run it the way it's written box. And that has to be strongly considered, right? Now I want you to jump off and I want you to consider the following. There were no other tribes, right? So if his mother's from one tribe of the two that's left and his father's from the other, it's not that big of a deal. And you left out most of his grandparents. Where is Shaul? Pointedly left out, the most famous of whom left out. But there's another 10 left out. So why are you highlighting Ben Yair, Ben Shim'i, Ben Kish? You're only highlighting a certain amount of them, certain of his patriarchs, those that preceded him, right? You know that the name thing is not a real thing. The name is to describe what's going on. It's not Ricky. The name is not Ricky. The name might be Reuven, but it's not Ricky. In other words, when we use names in all of these writings, they're applied to tell us secrets. So therefore, when we say Yair, Ben Yair, Mazal, been too quiet today. What do you want to say? This lady has a resume bigger than my computer. Incredibly talented. He's going to light up. Give me more. You're right. Give me more. When we say or, when we use the term or, right, educate, intellectual growth, Yair, the person who's going to intellectually build the people. Great. Good. Shim'i means what? Lishmoa means what? What does Lishmoa mean? Shema Yisrael. To hearken, to understand. One second. He's going to educate. He's going to create an intellectual base that's not there before. He's going to give them a sense of understanding that they don't have before. This Mordechai, this Mr. Bring about the salvation. That's what he's going to do. By the way, was it his real name? Was it? Who knows? And by the way, if we say that he was that he was prepped for this, then this name may have been given him at birth because we had a sense that this was going to happen, like Noah, right? When Noah was born, we say Sadiq. What are you talking about? How could you know? Oh, we know. There was a previous incarnation of this neshama, whatever it might be, that he comes on the scene cooled and ready to go. And by the way, who does not? We're going to see that in a few minutes. Esther does not. She does not. Enna avaim b'mot aviha ve'ima. She has nothing. She comes on the scene with nothing. Nobody built her. She has no lineage. It's all her, of course, with Mordechai's direction. But we say twice in the same pasuk. We'll see it in a couple of minutes. She had no upbringing. She didn't. How could the pasuk say enna avaim? Anybody didn't have a parent? How'd she get on the planet? Of course she had a parent. Oh. Good.
You had Mordechai that was a very big rabbi and he was very knowledgeable. He was part of the upper echelon. They had started the Jews at that time. They were robbed of the taken from Israel.
Fantastic. Great.
Sent away to God knows where. As he came, or Esther, she also represents that kind of Jew who was
beautiful, beautiful. What else?
Mordechai, with the name Mordechai in Persian, is tied to the gods Malkuth.
Right.
So he was hiding in plain sight, but really his mission was to bring the Jews out of the darkness of Persia.
Great, exactly right. Exactly right. Great. And you're going to see it more. We're going to build more on your point. Good. So when we're introduced to this Mordechai, he ain't a regular guy, right? He's not a regular guy, but we didn't finish. Yair got it. Shim'i got it. Right? What is Kish? Quiche is tough. I'm gonna teach you what they say about quiche, but I agree it's tough. They say, "Hu minakesh al daltot hashamayim." What does that mean?
He's banging on the door of the heaven.
There you go. Beautiful. It's beautiful. It's not shot-ish, but you got to jump a little bit on that one, right? But Vivian's nodding her head, so we got a little boy, She has no choice. She has no choice. Huh? Yeah, exactly. So why are these three grandparents highlighted? Because they're framing who he is. By the way, were those their real names? Who knows? They were called that possibly to frame our understanding 300 years later or 100 years later. It's great. And now you got a real curveball. Ish Yemini. What do you want to do with that? Huh? What? He could have been a righty, but you gave me the word ish again. You gave me the word ish again. What do our rabbis say on this? Huh? I got a double ish. They call him ish nimusim, Baal nimus. What does that mean, Mazel? Manners. What?
Well, maybe he fits into the courtly, stage where you're.
Esav doesn't use
the
twice.
king's
Huh?
court.
And we got to ish twice.
No, she's saying Esav has it too.
I don't know. You have to tell me. So he is a man of nimus.
That he screams, "Da'aka gedola umara," it says in Gemara that it's meant to undo the da'aka gedola umara that Esav, when he heard that his Rebbe was speaking, that those are the words in the pasuk. Then it was a tikkun, meaning his voice reverberated in the heavens.
Great.
Now we needed something to oppose it.
Love it.
It has to be
Great.
on the same level.
That's great.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It says twice.
Vayhi Esav ish yodei tzayid.
Ish. Sadeh.
Wow.
Beauty.
Maybe he was also already born ready.
He was Metukan Nadavar. That's right. I love it. I love it. And by the way, we said that Esav comes first. He's the kilipa, right? He's the kilipa. He's the husk. He's the shell. And then Yaakov comes second. That's where the potency is, right? But you have a double ish here, right? Which shows that he had plenty of power and potency. But we hold that the greater potency was even with Yaakov. Okay, great. I love the parallel. I'm just. Okay, let's look at the next pasuk. Look at the next pasuk. Asher hegla. Hegla. What does it say?
Did you do something with Yemini? Sorry.
Oh yeah, we said nimus.
Oh, okay. I was hoping to do something with the right side, the Kabbalah.
We're gonna do some of the Kabbalah stuff. We're gonna do some of the Kabbalah stuff. I hope today in terms of Esther. We're gonna.
Okay.
Okay. So who was exiled from Jerusalem with the exile? That was exiled with King Yehoiah, who was exiled by Nebuchadnezzar. What do you want to do with that? A lot of Hoglas, right? So what do you want to say about that? Hogla, that was exiled. Who was exiled?
I like it.
Different tenses.
Huh?
Why different tenses?
Why different tenses? Why the repetition? Tell me once. Tell me once. He was thrown out with everybody else. Okay. The core explanation is that he kept going home.
Went back and forth.
He went back and forth 4 times. That was the core explanation. Went going good. What else you want to do with this?
4 major Galileans somewhere.
Exactly. Second explanation. It describes the 4 major Galiot that we have. Mitzrayim, Ashur, Rome, and so on. Huh? That's right. Excellent. Great. That is it describes the 4 Galuyot, right? We could say it describes the 4 Galuyot. Great. What else? What else you want to say? Tie it back to, So we have, tie it back to the last pasuk. What do you want to do with the last pasuk? We want, this is a continuation of a description of him. What do you want to say? What is it? What is it describing?
it's important to do the. He was just that like all the the left side.
Right.
So,
Mhm. Yeah, so he kept going back and forth. Right,
but he was very big.
good. Give me, jump off the page,
Maybe
go
Galut, like maybe he was with Galut.
there to reveal.
Yes, and
Beautiful.
he been to the people who, Rosh is really doing like this whole thing is unplugged. Maybe there's 4 levels of revealments that have to take place for the Mordechai.
Beautiful. That is so not shot. I don't even know what is going on here. That is so not shot. I'm not gonna tell anybody because I don't want to blow your cover, but that will never be shot. I'm sorry to tell you. Good. So let's go a little further with that. What do you want to say? I say as follows. We have 4 chushim. We have 4 senses, chushim, right? First one is what?
5 senses?
4, I don't know. They hold, they're probably, maybe they're all 5, right? Are they 5? Touch. Yeah, he says 4.
There's 5 guys.
Yeah, we're holding 4. Okay, they describe the 4 senses. So I guess we're skipping touch because that's the one that they didn't mention. The first sense is to see. The second sense is to hear. The third sense is to what? Speak. Speak, and then to smell. Hearing, seeing, speech, and the ability to smell. Okay, I don't know if it's called senses or something else, but they're highlighting, according to this explanation, highlighting in Mordechai the ability to see the opportunity to build the Torah, to understand it, to speak it, the lelamed la'achirim, and they say that Reach, that his sense of mastery of smell was related to his ability to pray on a level that would pierce the heavens. Okay? It's out there. Just
That's
some.
so crazy because they say the Mizbeach has a half was prayer. So
That's right.
Smelling and praying.
That's right. Yeah, great. Beautiful. Okay, next pasuk. That's a little intro on Mordechai. Vahi omen et hadasa hi Esther bat dodo ki en na'av va'em va'ne'ara yefat to'ar b'tovat mar'eh u'b'mot aviha v'ima lakecha Mordechai lo lebat. What do you want to say? Who is he taking care of? What does omen mean? He adopted her, right? Right. Maybe. Could be. Yeah. We say that she probably was, maybe was. She was his niece. Okay. What does the term hadassah mean? Hadassah. What is the hadass?
Myrtle.
The myrtle, right? Which is perpetually green, right? Which doesn't go out with the seasons. Good. We have a he. What does the he remind you of? Who? Right? The he reminds you of who? Which means what? Which means she was metukenet adavar. Excellent. She was also built and honed and primed for this purpose. And she is Esther. What is Esther? She's hidden. What is hidden? What do we mean when we say hidden?
I guess our purpose is not yet revealed.
Her purpose is not yet revealed. Her power is not yet revealed. And nothing is revealed. We don't know anything about her. She's what we would call a clean slate. We know nothing. We know that she has a resilience. We can assume that from the word hadassah. Esther means it's hidden. Everything is hidden. Hidden what? And then it's compounded by the problem of ki en avem. What do you want me to do with that? Yeah, she's grinning. What do you want to do with that?
Why is it written twice?
Why is it written twice? We'll talk about that in a second. Ki en avem. Go. Adam Chava. Beautiful. And therefore, right. Fantastic. But go further with it. Go further with it. Go further with the Adam Chava. In la Abim. Spectacular. Why would you say it? Mot Avi Ima. 1 second. Tell me Mot Avi Ima. Yeah. Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. So what? Right? Beautiful. Right? We said Haman was Hamin Ha'etz Hazeh, right? We're pulling it all back to Gan Eden. Whoa. Now, 1 second. This Achashverosh is worse than the snake, i.e., he continues to perpetuate and to manifest in the world, but on a more aggressive level than the Nachash. And this Ne'ara, she is a counterforce to him. It seems. We're going to understand better. But it seems that she is a counterforce to him, right? And what do we know about her now? How is it that she's a counterforce? We don't know anything. We have Hastarat Panim. That's all it is. Yeah. Awesome. It's great. Great. Huh? Say it again. Fantastic.
Nice.
It's fantastic. Elna Avaim, bombshell. What do you mean? Everybody does. Except who? Chacham Vivianidit, right? Except who? The first two. Give me more parallels. Come on. Let's go. Come on. She's making her face. Give me more parallels. Yeah. She would tell you that no matter what. Linda, I'm giving her the okay to ramble. No problem. Go ahead. What else you got on this? That's the best line. Huh? What do you say? Come on. I'm happy to. So Abraham marries his niece, right? Abraham marries his niece. That's nice too. But
She approaches Hamelech.
what?
She approaches Hamelech.
She approaches Hamelech?
Yeah, the king, Hashem. She approaches him.
She approaches him. Yes. Nice. Yes. Let's go. Keep going. Build on that. Come on.
You want to go out, but that's marry him, you know?
Yes.
So in this story, she marries him.
Great. Great. Better. She doesn't marry the Nachash. She marries his younger, more powerful brother. What? How awesome is that? You want to tell me there's a story about what happened in Persia umpteen years ago? It's not. It is, but it's not. She marries the brother of the snake to beat him, to take him down.
And then in the end, it says, Ma, God, what is the body? Right? I'm not going to up. So there again, you take another one. Elements of the Nahat and Esther, and she's playing with the same way that she did before, but now before she was sort of half knowledgeable and she fell. Here, like you were saying, here she was very knowledgeable and Hashem helped overcoming that by playing this seduction. And by the way, Sarah, they said,
Sarah was a reincarnation of Chava. Beautiful. Beautiful. Esther is going. She followed the footsteps. She's marrying the baddest guy, the baddest of the bad guys, right? She's going to marry him to break him, right? And she beats him. Ad Chatzia Malchut plus, right? Okay, good. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Right. Beautiful.
Pull out everybody's in the flesh, because everyone is good. Even tiny
Okay, good. Okay, don't go that far. You don't have to go that far. Stay where you are. No, stay in the soup now. Don't go outside yet. Don't go. Stay right here now. Stay in the mess. We want to create this mix. We want to stir it real good, right? He's omen et hadasa. What does la amen mean? Yeah. Right. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Hashira said, bring all the young girls, but she's a Yafat Tov, Yafat Na'eh, and that's what she was. So that's
Right.
how.
What does it mean, Yifat To'ar and Yifat Mar'eh? What is Yifat To'ar with an olive? What does it mean? Yeah. Right. So, right. Could be, but stay with me over here. Yifat To'ar. Chen, right? It's a very nice possibility here. What else do we call Te'ur? Or the description or the Te'ur of a person? What is that?
Their character?
Light and listening and.
Right.
Esther?
Character, right? Good. Like Amy is dovetailing with, huh? I want to understand Yifat To'ar as
Okay.
Te'ur, right? Essence, character, yeah. Tovat Mareh is your external. Yifat To'ar is your internal, right? You want to say that? Good. That's her essence. Good. Yeah, that's her character. Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't see things. That.
Right. Right. I think Rachel was both, right? Yeah, that's the way. Right. But the question is that how she looked or how she looked at people? You know, some of the rabbis explain it as Yifat To'ar and Yifat Mar'eh or Yifat To'ar, right? She's both, right? Yeah, yeah. The way she sees and the way she looks, the way she sees people. Huh?
How others.
It could be, yeah, good. Could be how she is perceived by others. Good. It could be, good. We're gonna talk more about that. Ubemot aviha ve'ima lakecha Mordechai lo lebat. What do you want to do with that? After all this explanation, what do you want to say about that? Come on, good. You're all going to be worse than me with this stuff. You're going to see. What do you want to say? That's nice. Beautiful idea. Right. Right. Beautiful. Love it. Give me another one.
Sorry, I can't hear. Can you repeat what they're saying?
She couldn't hear. She can't hear what they're saying.
Oh, it's Kenny. I'll repeat it one thing. That there were different stages, yeah? Different iterations of the relationship, different things that they built in each other and from each other. Good. What?
Also, that he was her teacher. He was her Abba, like, because your teacher is one of like a parental type of figure, right? That's one of the concepts
Yep.
that we have. And so he
So
was her
now
teacher.
they-
She was
they-
the one
they-
that Yair Shani Kish also
Right.
to her because she had no Abba. And
That's right.
she was a moral figure in her life.
Right. Now, our rabbi said the following based on what we're saying here. What do you say? What do you have?
I'm just gonna say, I'm just confirming what you thought that there is Yifat To'ar and Yifat Mar'eh.
Right.
And add to that, Yaakov tells Rachel, Achi Aviha, he is her uncle.
Right.
So she and her have
Yeah, that's great. And Abraham and Sarah. It's great. It's great. It's great.
Want to go to Binyamin.
Yeah. Yaakov and Rachel have a bit, right.
This whole Yemeni thing.
Nice. We have an interesting ma'amar of Chazal. They say that when a Sadiq trains a Sadiq, the trainee becomes greater than the trainer. So if Sadiq trains a Sadiq, the trainee becomes better, right? Makes sense. And if a Sadiq trains a regular person, they become a Sadiq, right? Beautiful. What do you want to call Esther? Based on what we know so far, what do we want to call her? Can we categorize her as a Sadiqat? A regular person. Beautiful. Right now, we're categorizing her as a regular person. We can't categorize her as a Sadiqat because she comes from nowhere. She has no lineage, right? What we're going to say, she's Yifat To'ad. So she's bright, right? Yifat To'ad. To'ad is the same ord, right? Sechel. She's bright. And Tovat Mar'eh. And she looks at things good, let's say, or along the lines that we said, right? Very good. So she has that, but he took her as a daughter. Now, B'mot aviha ve'imah. What do you want to do with that? There's a pasuk in Devarim that references that. What do you want to do with that? B'mot aviha ve'imah. Exactly. So what do you want to, if you're going all the way up, right? It's in when it's describing the Galut, it's in Perek Lamed Gimel Pasuk Tet. Omer la'aviv ve'imo lo le'itiv. Never saw their parents, lo aleinu. It could be. It could have happened in that order, yes. Maybe it's not out of, very nice. That's a beautiful idea. Maybe it's not out of order. So what do you want to say? La'aviv ve'imo lo le'itiv. They're basing this on the pasuk that they never saw their parents. Meaning what? Lori, what could it mean? You want to switch your workday back to Tuesday? La'aviv ve'imo lo le'itiv. Lamed, what did I tell you? Lamed Gimel Tet, Devarim.
Maybe the parents would be not, they were not present.
They were not present. They what? That could be, but it's tying back to the Galut, to the diaspora. What? I don't know. I never heard that idea.
Maybe they were left behind.
I don't know. I never, huh?
They left behind. They didn't.
They were left behind or what? Or what? You're reading that description, Vivian? You're reading it? Yeah? Huh?
Maybe they assimilated.
Yeah, or they were debilitated. They came from a different world, right? 1,000 years of the Mishkan and then the temple, and then they came from a different world, right? A very, so I don't know. There seems to be this lack of ability to look to a parent, to depend on that kind of thing. Okay,
Probably wasn't connected to them in a certain way.
Right. Right. You would say disconnected, absolutely disconnected. Good. Now,
That reference happens from the Zilta Beracha, blessing that Moshe gives to the
yeah,
tribe,
yes. And what is it describing?
And it describes the tribe of specifically. It says, Yehudim your whatever priestly
Right.
garments or whatever are part of, you wear them well. So if you wanted to just play on the Achashverosh wearing big dekim,
Nice.
it is. So maybe she's going crazy, like she said, I can't believe I'm saying this. But maybe whatever it is he represents, maybe she represents the Kohanut or
The Kilna, could be.
Or that spirit.
So what do we mean when we say Lavi b'imo lo re'itiv? What are we saying with
It
that?
says, העומד לאביו ולאמו לא ראיתיו, ואת אחיו לא הכיר, ואת בניו לא ידע, כי שמרו אמרתך וביתך.
So what are we
That's
talking?
tied to that previous parasha, where Moshe Rabbeinu tells the Mila Hashem Elai, then Levi came to him and then he said, okay, kill the people who sinned.
Right.
They killed their own family.
Right, and therefore what?
They didn't take into effect their emotional connection to the family. They did it back.
Nice, very nice. So now take me one more step.
Says, יורו משפטיך ליעקב ותורתך לישראל. The job of Levi is to teach the Torah and teach.
Good, so tie it back here. Lavi b'imo lo re'itiv, b'mot aviha b'ima lo alenu. Tie it back here. So what are you saying, Mazal? What, huh?
She is Levi.
She is Levi. She's the champion.
Or if you said only Yehuda and Binyamin were left, but Levi was left too, because it's on him.
If she's not Levi, she's taking up the charge of Levi, right?
Yeah.
That's what she's doing. Beautiful. That's what she's doing. She's taking up the charge. Okay, I want to jump. How much time is it? I want to jump ahead one, huh? What?
And that's very nice stuff.
That's exhausting. Yeah? Okay, I'm gonna get one more quick point, just to think about. Go to Pasuk 9. V'titav hana'era be'enav, right? He, be'enei mi, look at the Pasuk before, see later. Be'enei mi, in V'titav hana'era be'enav, in his eyes. Whose eyes? God, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have to go back to the last Pasuk.
Because you shamat bar hamelech v'dato,
Which is who?
which is not a person.
It's God.
Okay, hamelech, the bar hamelech, but if you look at it, according to the staff, there is no direct person in that.
Exactly. So who are we talking about? We're talking about her versus God. Look at the last pasuk. Vahi b'shamad var hamelech. God, v'dato, to collect these we're going to call them these better souls, to plant them in the ground, so to speak, so they can emerge to start to build the salvation. But tilakach Esther el bet hamelech. We're going to talk about Haggai. We'll talk about him later on. But el bet hamelech, she was brought before God, not before Achashverosh. And let's look at the next pasuk, and we'll just open up the point. But itav hane'erab ana'ara be'enav. In whose eyes? In God's eyes. But isach chesed lefanav v'yivahel et tamlukeha. What does that mean?
Well, we're not going to.
What?
That ship has sailed.
That Hakadosh Baruch Hu is preparing her. We'll talk about it more next week, God willing. But I want to, huh? Right? Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about here. Ve'ed sheva hane'arot hareuyot latet la. Let's go. We'll end with this point. The seven young women who would care for her.
Look like angels that are like.
Could be angels, could be what else? V'yishaneha ve'ed narotea latov.
Like he's changed her course, like that. Where's that word, Vaishaneh?
V'yishaneha, they taught her, they lishanot, to teach, to repeat, to review. The shaneha. You have shinantam, exactly, good. So come on. Na'arotea, the na'arot are the spirits. The na'arot are the spirits in the shamot. What's going on
Wait a
here?
minute.
Huh?
Didn't we
What?
have seven of those hellmongers type people, whatever, from last week with the
Yes, we
Haman?
did. We did have those seven nasty guys. Yes. Now give it to me on the other side, one step more.
So it's a contrast in that it's
It's a
the
contrast,
seven like,
right? The seven good
good guys.
heavenly
I don't know
men.
what that means.
Or, come on, where's Mac? Your husband would hit this in a minute, Amy. Where, come on. Or, no, give me Sheva Ne'arot Hareuyot. There we are. There. That ain't you. You didn't say it. You didn't say it. You guys with me? Say it again.
Oh,
We're gonna tell people you weren't at the class. Don't worry, your cover is good with us, your whatever you call it. We're gonna keep we're not gonna blow your cover. What are we doing here? We'll talk about it next time, God willing. What it appears, again, if you go in this approach, there are 10 sefirot, 10 different levels of connectedness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the ultimate existence, the absolute everything existence, 3 of which are not really accessible to us, but 7 are. So when you talk about Sheva Ne'arot, and we said Na'ara is a neshama, you can't look the other way. Even Vivian said it. It's on the recording. You can't look the other way here. You have to say that in this place where, by the way, the rabbi's back and forth, whether she was in this prep place for 1 year or 2. A lot of the rabbis say it was more than 1 year. It was 2 years, and they talk about this whole process being a 10-year process. We'll talk about that more in detail. But
They have words for her, like tiferet, like all these words that are the words of the Sefirot. Saying Fen and Chesed and all those words.
That's
that are in that
right.
page are used here to describe the.
that's exactly where we are. Okay, so let's pull the pieces together. Achashverosh, we know his plan. His plan is very, very clever. No frontal attack. I'm just going to slowly and very cleverly, indirectly chip away its core values, put a person's primary focus in something other than Torah, other than this point, never to separate them from Torah mitzvot, just to separate them enough to cool it down, right? To pour cold water on it. He's doing great, right? When she comes on the scene, extremist, she's going to blow this thing. We take her out. What does God do? As after we take her out, God plants the seeds, he puts right below the surface the seeds for the Yeshua to be tapped, to come up. When he sends out this edict that every person will be sorer bebeto, right? What is he doing? He's telling them, don't go with the Vashti thing. It was too extreme. Let's go back to good old-fashioned values. And by the way, respect your parents. Brilliant. It's brilliant. So that's happening. God is planting the seeds for good. At the same time now, our 2 champions in process come on the scene. Mordechai is very, very sophisticated, very, very accomplished, really ready and prepared to do his thing. She is ready and prepared to do her thing also, because we have a he mentioned by her as well. But there's something that has to evolve here. There's a process that has to be gone through. And we're going to look at that process. We're going to look at the 7 sefirot, the 7 different layers of access to God, those altar layers that people can reach who are make an effort to do so, that are reachable. We're going to talk about how far she got, how far she has to get, and how this all continues to line up. And then what actually brings Haman on the scene and why.
I have a question. If she was primed and ready for this, why did she resist it initially?
Right, very good. So that's huh? Right.
Fine.
Right. So that's why we're very good. We're presented with the 2 of them. Both of them were primed for this. Both of them were metukan. Mordechai is fully cooked. She's not. So what does that tell you? One is fully cooked and one is not. These are the champions, right? And we're not talking about them. We're talking about all of us forever.
There's the kind that were born into it and ready for it.
That's right. The kind that was born and ready, and the kind that grow into it. And when does Esther grow into it? A minute before the end, right? When he tells her, what does Mordechai tell her?
What do you think you're?
Right. If it ain't you, it's going to be somebody else. The Yeshua is coming. This is not for you to make the Yeshua. This is the Yeshua is making you. The Yeshua is making you. Say that one more time. Okay, okay,
Play talk together.
very nice. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see how she plays it and why and based on the direction she got. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for all those who joined on Zoom. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Ricky.